Okay, so this is the point early on in the semester where I scare the heck out of all of you, and I'm going to make you do the impossible. And trust me, by doing this assignment, it has nothing to do with the book, but by doing this assignment, you will get to learn PHP like you've never learned it before. Um, if you were to Google Paul Gruhn, I think if we go to academia, yeah, right here. A while back, I had published a textbook on the Perl language and on PHP, and this is the book that I created. It's way too big and stuff. The problem is this version of the book is long since outdated, and if you go to course content, well, you're probably already here, module 1, scroll down. I will have a video. This video will be right here, and PGA 02 Professor Gruhn assignment. You want to click on this link right here, PHP Basics by Paul Gruhn, version 3. And you want to download that. And then go ahead and I'm going to save it to my desktop. It's probably going to say I already have a copy there. Yep, replace existing file. And basically, I want you to go through this updated version of the textbook, and I want you to write every single program that's in there up until number 59. Let's go view one page. There we go. What I have is there's a little tutorial here on using setting up PHP and the web server for Macs, and so a little interesting stuff there. You probably won't need that by now. And here, create an index PHP page. What you're going to do is you're going to create a folder called PHP Basics in your htdocs folder. And you're going to create, I provide you this index. I think this first code doesn't work. I would take this second bit of code right here and change your name, change it to your name, and use that as the index page in your PHP code. Then what you're going to do is that index page will actually generate all the file names in the directory. Then here you go. Your first program will be called 01.simple.php, and you can see it's the PHP, print welcome to Acme Auto, and then closing the PHP tag. That's your program. Barely, you could write it all in one line if you had to. And then that's how it should look. Here is another block of code. And I want you to write this code out and exactly the way it is. And then this is how it will look. And that's O2 comments. And these are the names of how I want you to name each program. Then here is O3 format. And you'll notice now we've added some HTML and some other stuff. And what I've done on purpose is I have not allowed you, these are all graphic images, these are all pictures, and I have allowed you to not be able to cut and paste the code into your document, because what I want you to do is have typos and make mistakes and learn to figure out how things work. And by taking these simple programs and making these work. You'll start to learn and understand how the PHP language works. And then basically follow each one of these down until you get every single one working. Until you get to number 15, I think number right here. You can stop here. You do not have to do any of the code after this point. If you want to have some fun and look at some of the other code after this point, please go ahead and feel free to do some of these other ones. Oh yeah, right here. It's build the Acme website. That's where it should stop. So you should actually do these ones with the maxima. But right here, do not do the build the Acme auto website. You can look at that, but that's starting to get into some SQL. I don't like the HTML I used in here, and but you can get some ideas here of some future code. So what I did is, if we go to my website, matter of fact, here, I give you an example right here. Here is the link to my free website. Notice that it's got all of the code that's there. Oh, and if you need the Maxima picture, you can just click here and you can do a right click and save, copy the image, get a save of that. But here are all the programs that you'll write. And you can see like a number list, and you'll see each one of these. Now what happens is, if you right click and view the page source, all you see is the HTML. You do not see the PHP that generated it. And that's because, like we talked about in one of the earlier videos, is that on the server, the PHP interpreter takes the code and builds the web page that then gets sent out to the browser. So this is what your homework assignment should look like, with your name on the top of it in a PHP Basics folder. So now, going to Netbeans, here's Netbeans. What I had done was I create in my KB1 GWO folder, I had added the folder PHP Basics under source file. You can right click new folder, and so you'll have your own folder for your website, and then you can, under source files, new folder, and you can add the folder, and then under the folder, new PHP file, and then you would name it 01 simple, and I'm going to put an XX after it, .php, and click finish. Now from here you would then just do what the book says to do, and then save it, and then you should be able to run it and see the page. So basically, as you can see, in my website folder, source files, PHP Basics, I have all of these programs that I wrote, and there's the index page. I'm going to double click on that. This is the index page that we got from the book, and cut and pasted that. I didn't want you to have to deal with the details of reading the directory and parsing out certain things in the directory, so you don't have to type that out. Also, what's nice is I added this little sort array. We're basically creating an array, and then we're sorting it so it comes numbered correctly. Also notice that in my numbering, I go 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5. I use that numbering of my file names so that when the index page runs, it creates this list in the correct order. So the numbering and the naming of your files is really important. So after I got that working in Netbeans, then what I did was, using FileZilla, File Site Manager, I connected to my website, and then in my public, I made sure I was in my public folder, and I made sure I came over here and I'm in my public folder, and I took my PHP Basics and I right-clicked and I did an upload. And then all of the code ends up over here, and it's available now. It's on my server, on my web server. I come back to here, and it's up and running fine. Now, I also added this little link on that index page called Home. Notice that it takes me back to that index page I created a long time ago. So what I want to do is I want to make this page a little smarter. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up to my public HTML. Remember we took the default .php page and renamed it to org, and then this index page here is the one that we created. And so that's this page right here that's living in my KB1 GWO folder. So now if I go to Netbeans, and where's Netbeans? Open up, please. There it is. I'm going to close these guys. And if I find, here's my index PHP page, right there. And if I just do simple href tag equals / PHP Basics, now I have a link to that page. So I'm going to save that, Control S, go back to FTP, right click, upload it. Now go back to my website, and now I refresh this page. Notice that the link that I just added, and now I can click that, and now I am here at my PHP Basics. So what I expect to happen is, as you build stuff, you should be able to have an index page at your high level in your public folder, and from there you'll create links like I did here. Now notice I have this little link home to come back to this page here. So you should be able to start adding some stuff. And for instance, let's see, you can, once you get your project folder up there, you can get your final project up there, and you can add then a link to your final project. And right now, we're not worried about making pretty HTML at all. I don't care about pretty HTML. What we're caring about is learning the functionality of an FTP client, FileZilla, getting used to learning how to work with Netbeans, getting files from your local server working out to the website, and learning the language PHP, which is the most important, and getting all that to work. So yes, you can kick and scream, cuss me out a little bit, and say, what the heck is this professor doing making us write 50 programs? Well, okay, a couple of them are like 3 lines long, and you don't have to think, you just have to know how to read the book and write each one of the programs correctly. I really lay out every single piece of code and what to do. It's actually not hard at all, but what will happen is you will quickly learn how an if statement works. You'll quickly learn, I mean, this page that I just happened to, if $post password equals good password, you're going to learn quickly about passing passwords. You're going to learn about getting data from the form and putting it into a PHP program. Trust me, this is, if I didn't have the Murak book, we'd still be learning PHP and learning it really strongly. But the Murak book is going to take us to a whole new level beyond the basics, just like it did in the MySQL database class is going to take this, but I want to give you a good solid foundation. So get to work. You got 50 programs to write. Get them to work. Matter of fact, get the index to work and do programs 1 and 2. And once you have that settled, then go ahead and move it out to the web server and see that it works on your web server. And then as you get each one done, you can move them out there or just get them all working at once, whatever works best for you. And that's that. You should have plenty to do for the next 7 days. Enjoy.